Hey everybody, it's me, MiaFran again. Welcome back to my channel and to another Fruits Basket review video with Chantal. Hello. Welcome
It's
back.
good to be back.
Yes, it is very good to be back. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, legit, like, not more than, 20 minutes ago, I finished the episode and, dude, I was just crying the whole last, 5 minutes.
Yeah, those last 5 minutes really hit, man.
Oh my god. So if I start crying during us talking about it, I'm sorry in advance, everybody listening. Good thing you won't be able to see my ugly crying face. Not that I haven't shared it before, as we have mentioned in previous videos. But this episode is called All Mine. Despite what the thumbnail on Crunchyroll shows you, it is not about Rin.
I guess because nice.
How did they choose the thumbnails for Crunchyroll? That's what I want to know. Like, is it like YouTube, where it's just whatever ends up being the middle of they choose 3 stills of the video and that's what the thumbnail ends up being if you don't upload a thumbnail?
Maybe.
Just because I'm the episode didn't really have anything to do with Rin. She showed up in the episode, but she didn't really it wasn't focused on her, but whatever. Anyway, so this episode focused a lot on a couple different things that we can talk about. So I guess first we should talk about the first part of the episode. We'll talk about the second part later. So everyone is back home from the summer beach trip, basically, and we now know that Tohru is determined to break the Sohma curse, but she's trying to figure out how she would go about doing that because she doesn't really know too much about it, and of course she's not gonna ask any of the actual Zodiac members because I'm sure they would tell her what the fuck are you doing? It's not your business, you shouldn't have to worry about it, but she's already in too deep, man. This is her family now.
She wants to help wherever she can.
Yeah, exactly.
As she said.
Which is why she had to keep it a secret. So I don't know, what do you think of what you saw in that first half when she asks him what can be done? Because he kind of doesn't really tell her
anything, really.
Because he doesn't know either.
Yeah, which I mean, it's who else can she really ask that could probably know? She doesn't really have that many options. Unless she wants to talk to one of the main Zodiac peeps. But I don't think that they would tell her anything since they want to keep her out of it just to protect her. But she doesn't want that. She wants to learn more about this so she can help them and protect them in any way that she can. And she's definitely worried about our boy Kyo the most. Yeah, well, because now, last episode, she learned that Kyo's gonna be put in the cage, that cat cage, for ever after he graduates from high school. So he has a limited amount of time left outside. Yeah, because even the master was oh man, I didn't want her to know about him being locked up eventually either. Yeah. But now that she knows, she knows. Well, and it's probably even more concerning for him because she says well, Akito told me that. It's just oh shit, she didn't just hear it from Kyo, she heard it from the big bad itself. From fucking Akito. Oh no. And I think it was interesting that she compared it to because he talks about how, because his grandfather was the previous cat, so that's why as we know, he has a special connection with Kyo because he's basically Kyo's adoptive father, and he raised him and everything. And he talks about how he went to go visit his grandfather's grave, and Tohru asks, oh, is he buried on the Sohma estate, in the Sohma graveyard? And he's no. It's his grave isn't there. He wasn't allowed to be buried there. But now he can, where he's buried, he can live out, he's outside of the Sohmas. So he's truly free now because he's not buried in their plot. And Tohru compares that to, well, Kyo's already living outside, and him and the others are all going to be forced to live back in the Sohma estate and never leave. At least Kyo will never leave. But even the master's well, I think
that a reality, I guess, or an ending where everyone can live how they want to live is possible. It's not impossible. We just have to try to get there. Because of course he wants, Kyo to be happy also. Because clearly he can see that Kyo has feelings for Tohru. I think it's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, that's very true, man.
But I just thought that was interesting that it's like she's direct, like they're showing us like comparisons of like how everyone lives.
Kind of sad, man.
So, I think it's also just kind of showing us like how important all of this stuff going on is that needs to be resolved or fixed or changed.
Yeah.
To make sure that everybody lives the way that they want to live.
Mm-hmm. And then she gets to see Rin for like 2 seconds and then that's it.
Yeah, Rin's just like, stay the fuck away from here. Like, why are you, like, just take your nose out of our business. So that was Rin's part of the episode.
Like, that was it. I was like, oh, we're probably gonna get some Rin, but no. That's all we got.
When she goes to see him too, and she's like, why was she here? And he says, because she came to ask me the same thing you're gonna ask me about.
Which Rin is definitely determined.
Yes, Rin's definitely determined to figure out how to break the curse. Tohru's not the only one trying to break the curse. There are multiple characters trying to break the curse.
They just need to figure it out.
Yeah, that's like the first half of the episode pretty much. And the second half is Kagura and Kyo like go on a date. Because Kagura needs to tell Kyo something, but he's like, just tell me right now. Because, like, she's always been, like, obsessed with him. Like, she's in love with him. She, like, always wants to be around him. And he's, like, never really, like, vibed with that, I guess. Like, he's always just found her, like, really annoying. And he's always, like, pushing her away. So
it's because she's very aggressive when it comes to her love.
Yeah, she's very aggressive. She's very, like, she'll basically beat the crap out of him if he, doesn't, like, do what she wants. She tells him, well, I need to tell you something. And he's like, why don't you just tell me? And she's like, well, I'll tell you if you go on a date with me. Like, just one date. It'll be fine. And he's just like, okay. Like, he kind of has to, like, begrudgingly, like, agree to it.
Yeah, if he wants her to listen to what he needs to say.
Yeah, because he needs to tell her something, too. Because, like... And I read it in one of the comments on Crunchyroll, which I thought, like, very expressed this very well. Like, the way he treats Kagura in the second half is, like, very different how he would have treated her before. Like, and she mentions that in the episode, but it's because, like, he's learned from being around Tohru, like, how to be more empathetic.
Yeah. Towards
others, especially, like, people really close to him, I guess, or who consider that they're close to him, like Kagura. So, like... I thought it was very big of him to agree to go on a date. Because, like, in season 1, he definitely would not have done it. He would have been like, hell no. Just, like, he wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have met up with her or anything. He would have just, I don't know, climbed up on the roof and, like, lay there and do nothing. Look at the sky. As he used to do in, like, season 1. But now, like, and even Tohru mentions it, like, he's getting taller and, like, more... I guess, like, he's getting stronger, like, but I feel like he's also, like, getting more mature, because he looks a lot taller now, especially, like, in the black shirt that he wears on this date. I'm like, he looks very mature.
He looks very handsome.
He looks very, very, very cute, very handsome, yes, very, very good looking. They're all growing. Even Yuki in this episode, I'm like, Yuki, wearing that sleeveless shirt. Nice. I guess because we're so used to seeing them in their fucking school uniforms, it's like, it's so good to see them not wearing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Kyo looks, again, he looks very mature. He looks the same age and maturity as, like, Kureno, because Kureno wears the same kind of, like, clothes, very adult looking. Like, he doesn't look like a high schooler.
Yeah.
Which I was like, all right. So he dressed up and he tried to look nice on this date, even though he was, not super into it. But
I mean, they show this part in the trailer too, but they don't show who it is, like who Kagura is like clinging onto as she's crying.
Yeah.
So I assumed it was Kureno because, like I said, they don't really like show the face, and I was like, what is Kagura doing with Kureno? But now, like, seeing the previous screenshots before like this episode came out, and then seeing this episode, I'm like, okay, this makes more sense. It's Kyo.
Just him dressing up that way and like, you know, reflecting, like I said, what Tohru is saying, like he's gotten taller. She said his hands got bigger, which I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but all right. I didn't think she would notice that, but okay. But again, it's showing like his maturity and his like acceptance of his fate, which I also think is why he wears a black shirt. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but you know, you always find symbolism and stuff like this. So I'm gonna say it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that color, it shows again like his growth and his maturity and his acceptance. Like I'm going to be put away, because at this point he think like he's already like resigned himself to that. Like he's you know ready to be locked up forever.
Yeah.
So might as well just kind of like tie all the loose ends that he needs to tie up.
Yeah, he just wants to face everything that he's got going on before time runs out for him.
Yeah, exactly. And this part really like I wasn't crying until like maybe like close to the end. Like once she like, cause you get to see like the backstory between Kagura and Kyo, how they met and everything. So basically, as we have thought, or as they've shown us, of course like Kagura, you know, she's like in love with Kyo, whatever. She's all crazy obsessed with him. But it stems from pitying him. That's why she started hanging out with him in the first place when they were kids, because she pitied him. And she even tells him like, well, when I was around you, I wasn't the most pitiful person in the room. You were, because I'm not the cat. I wasn't shunned. I was allowed to like do more things. Nobody talked down to me, so I looked down at you and I pitied you, because being with you made me feel like more of a person, I guess is what she's trying to say.
Yeah, she basically felt better around with him because of... It's like one of those things where it's like, well, things might be going pretty crappy right now, but at least it's not as bad as this person's situation.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna hang out with this person because their situation sucks way more than mine, so that's gonna make me feel better about myself and my own problems. And she even admits, you know, she was really selfish for thinking that way, but she would still hang out with him and play with him. And he was grateful to her, because you even see, like, you know, they're little kids, and he's, you know, cute little kid drawing fried eggs on the ground.
So cute.
Because he can't watch TV and he can't really do what he's, you know, what every little kid wants to do. But nobody wants to play with him because he's the cat, and, you know, it's not a thing you do in the Zodiac. But Kagura, she takes pity on him, but then as she plays with him and hangs out with him, she kind of she even says that she tries to rationalize her feelings for him as they get older.
Mm-hmm.
But that also turned into actual love, actual feelings.
Yeah.
So she really did fall in love with him, and she wanted him to fall in love with her, but she also thought that falling in love with him and him falling in love with her would negate her actions, when, as we see, she saw his true form when they were also little kids, and she ran away and was too scared. And she felt unclean when she saw his true form. So she's trying to rationalize her feelings for him and, you know, be clingy around him and stuff and try to make him fall in love with her and whatever, because she wants to negate that person that she wants to negate the person she was when she ran away from him feeling unclean. She wants to get rid of the unclean feeling. So, you know, having him fall in love with me and me fall in love with him, that's going to make everything okay. I won't be unclean anymore.
She basically feels guilty.
She's extremely guilty, and she cries about it as she's telling him, and that's what made me start crying. I was like, oh my god. Because she even apologizes to him, you know, I'm sorry that I pitied you and that I ran away and that I didn't do what someone else could have, because then I totally forgot that she was there when Tohru goes after him when he transformed into his true form in season 1. I forgot that she was there.
You forgot?
Yeah, I forgot that Kagura
Oh
was there.
no. Yeah, she was there. And she like left a note to Yuki and he was like, well, she's gone.
Yeah, I totally forgot that she was there.
Because I think Kyo asked about her after he notices that she's gone. He's like, wait, where is she? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. She's fine. Yeah. It was either him or Tohru that asked about Kagura. I can't remember. It's been literally like almost a year since we saw it.
Exactly. That's also why. And I haven't read the manga in a long time. I just keep refreshing my memory with the wiki because I'm a bad manga reader and I haven't read the whole series in a long time. But yeah, so I forgot she was there, but she was there and she sees Tohru run after Kyo and she basically realizes at that moment, like, I was always thinking about myself and she even tells him, I never thought about the pain that you were feeling. I didn't do what she did. Tohru went after him because she cared about his pain and his feelings, and Kagura is like, I never felt that way. I just felt unclean and I never thought about how you felt. It was always about me and how I feel about you, and that made me really sad, like seeing her get all upset over that. Because it's like, it's hard when you kind of have to realize, like, oh, I was in the wrong. Especially when it comes to, like, your feelings about somebody.
Yeah.
Like, it was really hard for me to watch that. Because I was like, oh my god. I was like, man. And then, of course, like, it killed me as well when he just basically tells her, like, I'm not going to fall in love with you. I was like, fuck, man. I felt so bad for her. Because it's like, because I already know that he's in love with Tohru, which, like, you know, that's fine, but it's like, oh man, but Kagura also is like totally in love with you.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was curious about going into like Fruits Basket with like the new stuff was Kagura, because I haven't heard anything regarding Kagura's situation, and I always wonder, like, well, shit, I know who, you know, Kyo is in love with, but what about Kagura? Like, what's gonna happen with her and her feelings? Like, I was wondering, you know, is she gonna get over him? Is she gonna fall in love with someone else? What's gonna happen there? Is she gonna, like, not like Tohru when she finds out that Kyo's in love with her and that, you know, maybe she could potentially like Kyo? I don't know. We could start, like, a big old cat fight. I'm like... A lot of things were, like, going through my mind, and I was, like, concerned. I just hope that Kagura doesn't, like...
mess anything up.
Yeah, like, I just don't want her to be, like, that salty-ass bitch that is like, well, this is my man. Like, stay the fuck out, even though, like, he doesn't like her.
Yeah.
I don't want her to be like that. Because I love this character so much. I love her. She's a sweet girl.
I do too, and I felt so bad. Like, I'm like tearing up thinking about like what the fuck just happened in this episode. Like, I don't know. I think they really portrayed like the like,
one-sided love.
Yeah, the like unrequited love feelings. That a lot of like that I feel like it can be really cliche, but I feel like this show did it really well compared to like. That scene in fucking ReZero, my god, what the fuck. I still cried watching that for that show too, but that was more because I felt they did Rem really dirty in that scene. In ReZero, if you guys are not familiar, it's the I Love Amelia scene. I feel like Fruits Basket did it better in terms of like a confession scene to somebody that does not love this character back.
Yeah. Like,
it played out kind of the same, but I don't know. I felt like this was more genuine, and I wasn't pissed off watching it. I was, like, really sad.
Yeah.
For Kagura, because it's, like, because she's basically, like, first she apologizes, and then he tells her, like, you don't have to apologize for anything.
Yeah, like, Kyo shows definitely, like, more sympathy towards her. Like, yeah. He feels bad, but he knows he has to do this, because it's not like he can keep her hopes up or stringing her around for too long either.
Yeah, exactly. Because before he just would never like acknowledge it, I guess.
But now he kind of has to.
Yeah, because before he would just kind of like brush it off and like tell like, oh, shut up, like leave me alone. But now again, like because he's grown so much being around Tohru and everything, and he's accepting everything that's gonna happen to him. Yeah, you're right. He's got to kind of like nip it in the bud, pretty much. Like basically. He has to tell her, even if it's gonna like make her upset, he needs to like be firm and like serious with her, like, I don't feel the same way and I'm not going to. Because eventually he's gonna have to, like, you know, clearly he's gonna have to lie to Tohru about his feelings eventually, because again, he promised himself that that's what he's gonna do. I'm gonna live out the rest of my outside life being with her, and then I'm going to and not acknowledge that I'm in love with her, and then live out the rest of my life in solitude forever.
It hurts my heart, man.
It does. It's really sad. And then, like, it didn't help, because then he tells her thank you. Like, it really made me happy when you hung out, when you played with me when we were kids, and that, like, really just, like...
Yeah, he said he didn't care about her selfish reasons, because in the end, it made him happy. And I was just like,
oh my god. That, like, hurt really, really bad, man. That hurt my heart. And then, you know, she's trying to brush it off, like, okay, well, I'm gonna go home now, so...
But as soon as he says that, that's when she, like...
And then he says thank you, and...
She's, like, breaking down and, like, full-blown crying.
Yeah, and then that, like, made me cry even more, because I was like, oh, fuck. Like, oh no, like, what's gonna happen now? And then she just starts saying, like, I love you, like, 1,000,000 times, and, like, please believe me, and blah, blah, blah. Like, just, you know, stuff over and over again. Mm-hmm. And then...
You hear the OP.
Yeah, you hear the OP. I was like, shit. That made me cry even more. I was like, fuck, man. Again, right now, I'm trying not to, like, cry again, because I can, like, feel, like, tears kind of welling up, but I'm composing myself for you guys in the recording. And then she, you know, like, it hurts. You can see she's, like, in pain. Like, she's also trying to accept the fact that he will not love her back ever, because then she is saying to herself, like, again, I was trying to rationalize my feelings, but I really do love you. I am in love with you.
Like, throughout this whole episode, you can kind of see that she sees it coming, that he's gonna, like, say, no, I can't love you, which hurts even more because she knows it's coming.
It's like, it's one of those things, it hurts more when you know the person is gonna reject you. Like, I feel like if you don't really know how this person, like, will feel about you when you tell them, like, it's okay. Like, you know, oh, well, it's fine. I'll cry for, like, a day and, you know, get over it. But I feel like when you really have feelings for the other person, and, like, either, like, maybe they are already in a relationship with somebody, or, like, you just know that they're already in love with someone else, or, like, they're just not gonna feel the same, that's when it hurts even more. And, like, watching it as, like, an audience member, but also, like, sadly someone who has experienced this shit multiple times, it's like the worst thing ever. And it was like, oh my god, like, as soon as I like, because she's like saying, like, I love you and stuff, and she's looking down at the ground, I was like, please, like, give her a head pat or something. And then he did, but he pulls her in for, like, a hug. Dude, I fucking lost it there, man, because, like, I don't know if I would ever be brave enough to, like, do that, to say that to, like, someone's face.
Yeah.
And then to have the person you confess to, like, comforting you while you're crying about it because they don't love you back, that's, like, oh my god, like, that's a big cliche, I feel like, but it works.
It does, man.
Like, it was really, really, like, heartfelt, and you could tell, like, again, he's, like, empathizing with her, because she even says, like, when she goes home, her mom's like, what happened to you? Like, why are your eyes all puffy and red? And, like, clearly she was crying a lot. We've all been there, I think.
Yeah.
And she basically tells her, like, you know, just don't worry about me, Mom, like, I'll be fine. But, like, she even says, like, he stayed with me until my tears dried, which clearly was a lot of tears if her eyes are super red.
And puffy, yeah.
Because you can even see, like, she had, like, you know, those red marks, you know, red puffy under eyes and everything. And, like, man, dude, like, that really just, like, hurt my soul. It's like, oh, man. And then what she says after that, like, when she's in her room kind of, like, thinking about everything that happened, she talks about, like, in that moment, the Kyo that I remember and that I loved was only mine, was all mine for that moment. While he's comforting me and everything, it's this, you know, it's the person that I fell in love with, basically, and he will be mine until the sun comes up.
Also, little side note, how many freaking cats does she have in her room?
I know. I was like, that's a lot of cat toys that she has.
I thought she only had one, and then you see like multiple cat plushies around her room. I'm like, god damn, like,
She
why?
even had like a little cat picture on her wall too, so she's clearly, it's beyond obsession as by this time. But my god, dude, like that fucking ending, I don't know how I'm gonna watch that when the dub comes out.
When we hear Tia Ballard.
I know, because honestly though, like, I think her voice is too high in Japanese, because I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's a little too like.
It's too like, I don't know, it's too high for me. Also, like, she's supposed to be older than Kyo, so why does she sound like that?
She sounds a little bit younger than Kyo than anything.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Tia does have like this cutesy voice, but like it fits with Kagura.
Yeah, so I'll probably cry even more watching the dub, honestly. So I can't wait for that shit. And then we got the next end card.
I forgot, but I know it was Hattori's voice.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's Hattori saying it, so I was like, oh shit.
Yep, I was like, god damn it.
But again, it might not be about Hattori, because wasn't the last end card read by like somebody else that didn't show up in this episode?
I think it was Tohru, but I could be totally wrong.
I can't remember. Some of these end cards, like, they don't, like, they have them read it, but then it's like, oh, they were like barely in the next episode. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, if anything, you kind of have to be a manga reader for you to get what that reference is to. Because somebody's gonna say this line. We just don't know who.
Yeah. You cried for me, is what it's called. I don't remember what happens next. I have to refresh my memory. But anything else you wanted to talk about before we end the video?
Nope, I think that's it.
What do you think's gonna happen next?
I have no idea, but if it is something to do with Hattori, I'm gonna fucking bawl my eyes out, man.
I feel like with every episode, it's just like, I keep crying for characters I never thought I would cry about. But again, I read this manga like in middle school. So, and like probably finished it like early high school maybe at the latest. But like, you know, and back then I was a dumb middle school kid. I didn't understand all the nuances happening. It's only now that I understand that, you know, I've had adult experiences. I don't know why I tell all of you guys this about my sad experienced life, but there we go. Again, I can relate to Kagura's feelings, man. Unrequited love sucks. It's like the worst type of love. But that's why we enjoy watching and reading stories about that shit. So we can empathize. Thank you for joining me, Chantal.
No problem. It's fun as always to talk about it.
Yes, it's always fun to talk about Fruits Basket and crying over all these characters. Bro, the story is slowly unfolding, guys. If you guys are curious, you can listen to all of our previous thoughts and all the previous episodes for Season 2 of Fruits Basket. In the playlist, it's going to be at the end card of this video. And go subscribe to Chantal. She'll also be in the end card. Her links are also in the description along with mine. Please go subscribe to our podcast channel and follow our podcast Twitter. We have a podcast, if you guys didn't know. And we talk about anime and other stuff, mostly anime, as you know, we always talk about on our channels, but you know, we're talking about some different things here and there, which I'm very excited about. So please go ahead and check that out. Follow me on Twitter if you already haven't. Subscribe if you already haven't. And yeah, have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!
Bye!